Hi friends! Today for our Read Aloud, we are going to read the story, The Mitten. The author is Jan Brett, and she's also the illustrator. Who remembers what an author does? The author writes the words. Good job! Now who can tell me what an illustrator does? The illustrator draws the pictures. Super job remembering. Let's go over the parts of a book. This is the front of the book. This is the back of the book. And this is the spine of the book. It holds the pages together. Great job. What do you think this story is going to be about by just looking at the front cover? Look at the picture. What do you see? What's your prediction? Share with someone in your family. What do you predict is going to happen in this story? Those are all really great predictions. Great job. Let's open up and find out what happens. Once, there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. At first, his grandmother Baba did not want to knit white mittens. If you drop one in the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally, Baba made them. After she finished, she said, "When you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound, but then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens." So off Nicky went, and it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. Is his white mitten easy to spot in the snow? No, it's not, because it's the same color as the snow. That's what Baba was afraid of. A mole, tired from tunneling along, discovered the mitten and burrowed inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so he decided to stay. Oh, there he is, burrowing into the mitten. Why do you think he was so happy to be warm in the mitten? Look at the setting in the story. Do you think it's warm there or cold? If you said cold, good job. There's snow. He's probably very cold, so he's trying to get warm. A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten and he wiggled in, feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. What do you think the big kickers are? If you said his big feet, you're right. Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with somebody covered with prickles, they made room. The hedgehog has prickles. Do you think that they're pointy or flat? What do you think? The hedgehog's prickles are pointy. If you said pointy, you're right. So the mole and the rabbit moved over for him. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, which is a loud noise, swooped down, and when he decided to move in, also, the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog grumbled. But when they saw the owl's glinty talons, here's his talons, they quickly let him in. So many animals are into the mitten now. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, plus 1 equals 4. Good job if you knew that. Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and began to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. That means they were not happy. There was no room left. But when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb. What do you think his diggers are? Can you see the picture? See his diggers, his long nails for digging? So they moved over for him. Well, this mitten is stretching. Do you see how big it has gotten? Wow. It started out very small. See how small it started? Oh, it's getting so big. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in the mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. That means sleepy. The fox poked his muzzle in when the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth. They gave the fox lots of room. A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten and all plumped up. Not being one to be left out of the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tight as could be. But what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged too many times its size. But Baba's good knitting held fast. So what do you think that means? Baba's good knitting held fast. Do you think she knitted a strong mitten? And the threads did not break? That's what I think it means. Baba's good knitting held fast. Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. Tiny little mouse. She wiggled into one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. What do you think's going to happen? The mouse is on the bear's nose. Can you make a prediction? Maybe? What happened? The bear, tickled by the mouse's whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Achoo! The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. Look, they all scattered in different directions. And here's Nicky. And guess what? He sees his mitten. On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was the lost mitten, silhouetted against the blue sky. As he ran to catch his snow white mitten, he saw Baba's face in the window. Here she is. Can you see her? First, she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new mittens. You think she was happy? The end. Look at Baba's face. She's looking at two mittens. Are they the same size still? No, they're not. You're right. This one is bigger and this one is smaller. I bet you Baba's wondering how that happened. Do you remember how it happened? How did this mitten get bigger? Share with someone in your family. Try to remember all the animals that climbed inside. Great job listening to today's story, friends. We'll see you next time and have a great day.